What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. More Birthright here as we move on with Wizard Realm spells. And today we're going to take a look at a relatively simpler one and lower level spell than some of the more recent ones that have had some hefty requirements. So Subversion today falls under the enchantment/charm category here. Has a special regency cost upfront of 2 gold bars. And again, here on the lower end of requirements, you just need a level 1 source and a level 1 character that can cast it or above. So, and it has a specified duration, 1 action around here. So let's dig into what this does, and it's a pretty neat effect here. By employing a magical campaign of charms and suggestions, a wizard can force one holding, province, army, or lieutenant belonging to another regent to take a domain or free action, regardless of whether such assets are normally allowed actions. So, for example, you could force a group of military units to declare war and invade a neighboring land. You could use the holding to contest or agitate, or you could instigate almost any kind of mayhem. Subversion is limited to 1 discrete action, and it will affect a target regardless of whether they have already performed an action in the current round. So keep that in mind. A cost of 3 regency points per level of holding, province, or character level of a lieutenant is required to subvert such an asset, so it can get pretty pricey the higher up the target is, certainly. So, like trying to subvert a level 5 lieutenant, right, is going to run you a ripe 15 regency points, and that's pretty hefty. A cost of 5 regency points per army unit is required. Thankfully, it doesn't vary with the type of unit, because that could get certainly expensive with more elite type units, but 5 is a pretty decent cost there. The victim regent may bid regency points against the casting wizard to negate the effects. The wizard can, of course, spend more regency points to help them succeed as well, and sort of back and forth with the bids. The opponent who spends more regency points controls whether the spell succeeds, so no other effect there. So it's basically just whoever wants to invest more regency in something like that succeeding. But this can be one certainly for, again, subtly undermining accomplishments that maybe a rival regent has already accomplished or is planning on, just ways of disrupting plans. Certainly forcing them to, some of their units to declare war and cause all kinds of chaos while you sit back and reap the rewards of that, or use that as a pretext for, other more offensive or overt actions on your own part. So there's just so many wondrous possibilities with this spell. So again, sort of subverting one of their lieutenants, one of their key players, can certainly disrupt a lot of other plans that a rival region might have, and possibly even using that to long-term sort of take that lieutenant and sort of maybe get them to switch allegiances or things like that, or find a way to help get a rival opposing lieutenant killed and causing, again, just all kinds of other chaos internally and possibly externally for a rival region and their domain is just so much fun. And again, the best part here is, aside from the regency costs, really the spell doesn't have much in the way of requirements, fortunately, versus some of the other ones that we've seen recently where, you have to have lots of gold, lots of regency, and so on and so forth. So, again, declaring war, subverting a lieutenant, also messing up and messing around with their holdings, right? So like either contesting something so that they can't gain resources from it, agitating, causing, other sort of ripple effects there, so lowering loyalty levels, messing up possible like revenue that they can collect from their holdings and so on and so forth, or even causing that in some cases to bring about more religious tensions or conflicts. Again, when we were reviewing all the domains, just all the different sects of Halen's worship, for example, there's just so much sort of boiling religious tension with some of the deities and some of the, again, sects and other factions and so on and so forth. So there's just really infinite uses you could find for this spell, and certainly one you want to keep in your repertoire as a wizard who has access to realm spells. So certainly you don't need much in the way here, again, of requirements. Also, it's nice that it doesn't mention that you have to have the source in the target domain or anything like that. So as far as we can tell here, right, some of these spells, have required certain proximity to its victims, but here, this seems like, you can target, again, things that are relatively close for you without having to have any other major convoluted resource chains and things like that, just to be able to target your victims here. But that gold cost, again, is about maybe the only serious upfront investment. I know 2 gold isn't really that much, but for some wizards, depending on the types of domains they built, that could be a bit much, so certainly could require a little bit of saving up for. But aside from that, it's really just building up the Regency and being creative that will certainly determine how much damage or how much chaos you can cause with the spell. So quite a fun one. Let us know in the comments, guys, your experiences with Subversion and how that's worked, or maybe how it's been used against you in your campaigns. Drop those in the comments there, like and subscribe, and we'll be back for more Birthright as we get closer to wrapping up the Wizard Realm spells. Take care.